Today I'm going to talk about Death of a Vlogger from 2019, somewhat appropriate given what I'm doing right now. But this stars Graham Hughes, who also wrote and directed, Annabelle Logan, Paddy Kondratsky, one of those is probably right, and Joma West. And this was one of those that I found somewhere and I was like, oh, I'll watch that at some point, I'll put it on my list, I'll probably enjoy it. But I never found myself in the mood for it and remembering that it existed at the same time. I do this a lot with things. I remember things exist, I'm like, I'm not in the mood for it. Then I remember I'm in the mood for them, but I can't find them. But I stumbled upon it again. I was like, wait, yeah, I'm in the mood for this. Because it's a mockumentary, found footagey kind of thing. And it's a guy who supposedly was getting laser surgery and then all of a sudden ghosts happen. Or did they? Guy who does YouTube videos suddenly might be haunted, might be making it up. If you really want the nutshell idea. So it's kind of annoying that it's only got about 5.3 last I checked on IMDb. I think it's maybe more of a 7. It's not, Citizen Kane, but it's not most of the Amityville spin-offs and things that use the name for no good reason. So I do think this deserves a lot more love. Because the acting is fine in this, everyone's giving convincing performances as these characters they're playing. The story, it can be annoying, I think, sometimes for a lot of people when a story's going one way, then it zigs, then it zags, then it zigs, then it zags, and by the end you're like, well, is it real or not? But I think this does that well. It's constantly switching, whether it's actually a ghost or whether they're faking it. Even at the end, there is a seed of doubt. It could still be either. There is every chance that some of it is real, some of it was faked. It definitely gave me Lake Mungo vibes, I think, in many ways, because obviously it's mockumentary, it's ghosts and stuff like that, but obviously it's not a family member who's haunting them. But it definitely gave me that of like, you find in the end that a lot of this stuff was faked, but then actually, no, some of it wasn't faked, there was something real there. And you're left with this unsettling feeling at the end of Lake Mungo that maybe Alice was out there actually trying to give this message. And I got that feeling here, where we're constantly told, oh no, look, it's really easy to fake these things. But then we see something that wasn't highlighted at all by anyone. It was just a thing that happened in the background. As you see a lot if you watch channels like I do, like Nuke's Top 5, a lot of the stuff isn't found until like a viewer points it out or in the edit or anything like that. People don't notice it. And sometimes that's just, them building the narrative. It's like, oh, I didn't even notice that happened, fine. But here, it could go either way. Like I say, we're given the impression it's real and they're not so many times that it's very hard to know what exactly is going on. I mean, we don't know how good Graham is at faking all of this. The story, it opens in a weird way. We're given this tale of a photographer friend who kept seeing pictures of or bits of Graham's face hidden in pictures and stuff like that. And then at the end of the film, we see Erin's face in a window. And I think we're meant to draw the connection here. Like, well, are all of these things fake or was that real? And we're never really going to know. And like I say, it can be frustrating in some films, but here I think it's what led me to want to talk about it, because I like what they did. It's not your usual found footagey film. It's not jump scares all over the place and obscured things right in the corner of a shot that you're barely going to see. Everything is front and centre because this guy's trying to catch everything. But it's done very believably, and even when you're thinking it's a ghost and then you're disproven, you see new things. The whole sort of end thing with the going, the arm coming through the wall and the looping staircase, I've seen on so many web series that it was very much like a warm blanket to me. I was like, I know these tricks. I know what's going on here. This is great. I love this. But again, could it be real? Could those be symptoms of a haunting? We're told now that he's stopped because he's had all these death threats, had all these horrible things, people coming out of the woodwork, shaming him and basically cancelling him. Not that I like that term, but he's had that whole situation, so maybe this guy's got to be real. He wouldn't go back to the well when people are this adamant that he should stop doing this because it's wrong. But then maybe it is. Maybe he did do it. And I love this fact. I also love our investigative journalist, Alice Harper. The scene with the doll where she shows that this is how easy it is to fake. I can make all of this happen. And you could not tell that any of that, like the turning of the doll's head and everything like that. I was getting creeped out, and then she's like, no, it's a remote control. It's really easy to do. And, you know, the whole sort of, you know, finding out how they shared an email address and things like this. Like I say, you're building one way, then you're building the other. But maybe ghosts, but fake. And like I say, yes, in some films this is annoying, and if this had been done differently, I don't think I'd have enjoyed it as much. But there is one thing I do want to say about this film before I close out. I love the fact that it's not an old Victorian house or anything like that. It's a block of flats. It's a relatively new block of flats in Scotland. And no one talks about ghosts in new builds, because we don't think of ghosts in new builds. But if people die and leave something behind that we term as ghosts, they would be wherever anyone has died. Surely. Wherever anyone has died in a situation that would likely create a ghost, doesn't matter the age of the building. Obviously, older buildings are creepier because perhaps more people have died, so there's a higher chance that someone's died in a way that has left an imprint or whatever. And, you know, there's going to be like creaking and things like that because it's that old and it's settled over years, etc. But I love the idea of a ghost in a new build. It was one of those moments that I was like, this could be really hokey, ghost in a new build. But they sold the story well, but again, was that story true at all? Or was that all just set up and staged with Erin playing the ghost? We don't know, and I love that fact. This was an interesting film. If you are someone who makes videos on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, if you make videos in some form of internet medium, I think you'll kind of understand what this guy's going through, because you've probably done similar things where you've been like, maybe I should take this direction with my channel, maybe I should do these kind of things to get more views. What should I do to increase my presence? I think we've all had that moment. I know I have. This was part of my turn to what I'm doing now compared to what I did at the start. It's fulfilling, yes, but it was getting a better audience as well because I started doing Black Mirror, which was obviously very popular. So if you've ever done those kind of things, you will understand this, but hopefully you've got the ethical grounding that you're not going to try and trick a bunch of people and get them on side and then make them hate you when they realise it's all fake. But even if you don't do anything like this, you know, if you've got like a lot of people you know, or you're fans of, if you will, in various different media, you'll probably understand what it's like for them to try and, you know, get as much appeal as possible. And, you know, sometimes we do make silly decisions and we do things that were like, not my best moment, but it's out there now, what can I do? But yeah, for everyone there is something to take from this. And if you just like an interesting, you know, mystery, you've got that too. So, Death of a Vlogger, I really enjoyed it. But that's all I wanted to say about it. So until next time, thank you for watching and take care. Ooh.